literally the most important thing that you as a man need to do that is going to change the rest of your life is not all this political stuff. It isn't, is feminism good or bad, or is the red pill the answer for me? It isn't who's president. It isn't who wronged you. All those things are important and we do need to talk about it. But what is going to save you, what is going to make you great is you building your foundation. And if you don't do that, then all those things I just mentioned, they well guarantee to make you fail. I hope that all made sense. So this all kind of ties into what I'm doing right now, which is when I'm not coaching men and doing all this other stuff, I'm making videos for my wife's real estate channel, which you should check out, and yada, yada, yada. I'm finding a new place to shoot. By the way, I gotta reshoot this whole thing because I messed up on the focus. Kind of like, anyway, whatever. Video production stuff, don't worry about it. So how this all ties together is there are problems. There are major, major problems in our world right now that are affecting you. You being a man, you being a white man, a black man, an Asian man, you being a man that makes a certain type of money, you being a man that gets respected or disrespected in whatever ways that you can imagine. And those things are very, very valid and important. But the one thing that is going to guarantee that that is going to affect you is you not building up your life. And so one of the things that we hear about in men's development and all this alpha talk or the fantasy of what we call masculinity is we hear about the things that can harm us and hurt us, but we never hear about the thing that is gonna save us. See, we as men, we're gonna have all sorts of resistance throughout our life. That's guaranteed, that's gonna happen. And to be honest, I hope it happens because in some way, shape or form, you need to learn that it's not gonna kill you. But what I'm doing right now is I'm working with my wife and a lot of men's rights stuff and talks about being a strong male. And you know, if you look at the hardcore red pill people, they say that if you're too nice to your wife, or I don't really get it, maybe I'm wrong about it, but if you do too much for her and you love her and you don't flex your power dynamic enough, then she's gonna leave you and you know you're a beta and you'll be a cuck for the rest of your life. Which took me a long time to distinguish that that's just an insult. It's like calling somebody a bitch or a pussy or a motherfucker or whatever, but God, motherfucker is just such a badass word. Why do you have to go to cuck? It's just, I guess because only pussies use the word cuck that I think it's so stupid. The funny thing is the guys that I know that use that word the most actually were cucks, meaning they were dudes whose wives fucked other people and they didn't know it, or maybe they did know it and they let it happen because they were weak men. That's kind of ironic, right? Basically, my wife is a realtor and I want her to make money. I want her to be successful. It makes her feel good. And like I've said in my other videos, it's one of my favorite things to shoot with her because we don't get to do that much together. You know, I have 4 kids and 2 are with her. And in that entire process, we do a lot together. We work really well together when we're not yelling at each other, because that happens too. And part of this is building our foundation because it's what's important. See, the things that are never going to leave me in my life is my family. You know, they say family is forever. Friends come and go, but family will always be there. And then what I have built, my groups, the people around me, and those are my friends. And that is a little bit more transient. But man, there have been guys in my groups for 12 years. And there's over 10 guys that have been in my group for over 7 years. What's important about my life is I spend the time building up those things. In all of that, I realize that there are problems. There are major dangers in life. There are things that are totally screwed up that are not good, like politics, like the government, like the laws, like whatever, like the chick that you dated that is a bad person and the community of friends that wasn't really your friends that stabbed you in the back. Those things are bad and you're gonna run into problems like that. But if you are not spending time building up what is vitally important for you to live a good life, to give you confidence, to give you somewhere to go, to give you a sense of self and a strong identity so that when you reach different parts of your life that could be good and bad that confuse you, you have a place to explore them and get to a good spot. Man, that's what today's video is all about. We recorded it a couple weeks ago and it's good stuff. I'm gonna get back to shooting, and plus I shot this entire house and I messed it up because I broke a lens yesterday. So I'm using a secondary lens, which the focus on it is kind of wacky and a lot of the shots are out of focus. So I'm gonna go reshoot that. God, you don't care about any of this stuff. Okay. Oh, woo! Hey guys, my name is Steve Mayeda and I'm a men's coach in Austin, Texas. I'm a BJJ practitioner, a Wim Hof enthusiast. I have an amazing family, 4 awesome boys and a beautiful wife. And what this podcast is about being the better man. What we talk about is tried and true because we've been doing it with groups of men just like you for over 12 years. Listen up, and I hope you enjoy. Uh-oh. So if I say this word, I might get banned. If I do this thing, I might get judged. If I am a man, if I am a woman, if I am a jujitsu, martial artist, father, ex-con, whatever you want to call it, I might get judged. This is something where we have moved in our culture in all the wrong ways. And I was just thinking about this while listening to some stuff after I dropped my son off to school and was actually on my way to teach a jujitsu class. I listened to a podcast about toxic masculinity. And we are so caught up in this world about definitions, about what it is, about who I am, our identity, about what it has to be, what I can show the world and broadcast because that's a part of my team, that we have lost one of the greatest things about humanity, about what we have to offer, and about what being a man is. See, for me, I have a title of being a man, being a father, being an American, being all these different things. But what makes me is my experience with me. What is so important about us and about perspective and about all of these things is that we cannot be defined by a title, by a video, by a Reddit forum, by articles online, by different snippets that we have on Facebook and so on. But what we are defined by is our actions and our experiences that we have with somebody. Now, don't get me wrong. I hear things about people and I may stereotype, I may prejudge, I might hear how somebody talks and go, oh, you must be from Louisiana. These are all judgments that I may make that get overridden by me communicating with somebody. And this is what's important, because in this dialogue about being a man, in this dialogue about being a great man, that you are focused and committed on being the best possible version of yourself every day in and out, no matter what comes your way. What's so important about all of that, what is so key and vital, is that we never take away the moment from ourselves, that we never rob a relationship or a potential relationship with somebody based on an observation that we can only see from a distance. See, when I walk up to somebody and I see they have a red hat on or a pink hat on or whatever the hell it is, that's a label. That's an opinion. But when I start getting into this mode of I'm right and you're wrong, or my team believes in blue and you're red, or my team is white and you're black, or whatever it is, this is the biggest thief of humanity right now. Connection, sex, our opinions, our individuality is dependent and is fulfilled and given value upon our unification. See, we talk a lot about masculinity and defining that. And a lot of times we consider it to be the opposite of femininity. But when things are opposites, it doesn't mean they need to hate each other. It means that they need to merge together. It means they need to understand each other. And by understanding each other, by mixing with each other, by understanding the feminine, by whatever that is, through sex, through relationships, through understanding the femininity within you, through that, you can discover, you can find your individuality as a man. Look, I have a lot of friends right now that have different political opinions from me. In fact, I don't really have any. But if I did have any political ideas, they'd probably be in the most anarchist, non-governmental ways. And you know what? Maybe I've grown up a little bit. I couldn't put a finger on it. But I hear guys who I'm friends with that are very liberal, that have certain beliefs that don't like my conservative friends. What's so important about that isn't that we look past, oh, his conservative beliefs, I'm going to swallow, I'm going to bite my tongue on that one. Or, oh man, his super left-leaning liberal beliefs, I'm going to repress that a part of myself because I don't want to be disrespectful. Sure, that might be step one. But in the reality of it, see, I want you, me, and all these different people to think about different things. I want all of us to think differently because what gives us our value is that we're not the same. What gives us our worth individually, me, what makes me special is that I'm not you. But because I'm not you, that doesn't mean that I have to be better than you. That doesn't mean that you have to be wrong. But what's even better about that is what gives us all value, what makes this world so freaking beautiful is that we're all different. The fact that you can see me that is different from you and have a choice, whether that's to like me, to dislike me. But one of the worst things that we can have is rob ourselves from choice and only sit in judgment. And there is a difference there. And I know it may not seem like that, but the difference is this: judgment comes from a wall being put up, a barrier that makes me say that I'm different and don't have to see more of you. Choice comes from, I don't need that wall. I can see you. I can understand you, and I can choose to like you, not see you, or be done with this. That might be a hard thing to feel. Rejection sucks. I mean, when you think about this in terms of relationships or friends, but I would rather have somebody see all of me and me see all of them so that we make a choice about one another and not a judgment, not be dependent on how far we can be, how much our social definitions that we can only see when we're far apart but never together define us. That is a sad, sad world. And more of us are seeing that as the reality that's going to sustain us. The reality that brings us wisdom and wealth and love and whatever, all the good things that we're supposed to have. We've forgotten how beautiful connection is. And connection is dependent upon 2 different things, or 3 different things, or 4, or 1,000,000 different things coming together and unifying to make something new. Back to man and woman. And I've said this for years, especially in the whole nature of sex and seduction and these beautiful things, is man is different than woman. They have to be, but they unify together, not to prove that one is more powerful than the other, but to become something different. I'll tell you this, me alone, I'm one thing, and I can know myself. But when I connect with a friend, when I get influenced by another person, when I share a moment, a thought, a feeling, a sexual experience with somebody else, a new thing happens. And a new thing happens that's different than me, different than that other person. And that is beauty. That is the evolution, the change, the transformation we should all be moving towards. Well, that was insightful. Man, I'm actually just doing the final edits on this bad boy. And good Lord. Anyway, editing when you're tired and editing your wife's stuff. Oh man, so crazy. But man, we're at 7,000 subscribers. Thank you guys so much for being a part of this. Super, super cool. And more videos to come. If you have ideas or anything like that, shoot me an email. I get back to everybody. In fact, I love your guys' emails, so send one to me. I'll put a link in the description down below of how to do all that. And of course, join our groups because they're cool things. And I'm actually about to go meet up with some of the guys. It's Friday night, but we're gonna go hit the town in Austin, Texas. So I'm gonna stop talking to you and go out and have fun. And then